welcome to our third in our four-part series on loving yourself. Today, I'm going to share a few tips about loving yourself. First, I want to share how we justify not loving ourselves. Many people confuse self-care as a form of loving themselves. Self-care is just a part of loving yourself. It's an action, but how do you define it mentally? What is your self-talk? Let's say you've scheduled a spa afternoon as a gift to yourself for a project completed or a big sale that you've just closed. You go and indulge for those hours, treating yourself in a glorious way because you deserve it for a job well done. Fantastic. You deserve it for sure. Your spa day comes to a close. You've peeled off the luxurious robe, showered, dressed, and headed out the door. What are your first thoughts? Are you already trying to figure out how to make up for lost time? Is there any guilt for the money outlay? Do you find that you give extra care to loved ones to make up for your indulgence? Are you justifying to yourself that you really did deserve those moments? I invite you to listen to those thoughts. This is where we start falling out of love with ourselves and go back to that critical, judgmental voice that runs constantly through our minds. Listen to those thoughts. They are not a form of self-love. I was watching Amy Porterfield the other day. She shared video of herself in the early days. She said that part of it was hard to watch because she was heavier then and didn't like her self-image. Immediately after saying that, she said, "But it's okay because I love myself, and I love that she continued to persevere." I love that, Amy. And I love that she loved her old self. I taught a course last fall called Living Your Happily Ever Now. One of the first exercises I asked my participants to do was to stand in front of the mirror, look into their eyes, and say, "I love myself." Part of the beauty of this group was that they felt safe to speak because they were in an energy of non-judgment, such freedom. One of the women said very frankly that that was impossible for her to do. She was so critical of herself that the simple exercise of looking at herself in a loving way was beyond her capability. She shifted so dramatically by the end of the course that it made me cry. Such transformation. The importance of loving yourself is the basis for all other successes in your life. Heart and mind have to be in alignment for true success. Here are a few tips for you to use on your journey of self-love. Your first tip is this. Every time you look in the mirror, I want you to look into your eyes and say, "I love myself." 3 times. You can be in your car putting on lipstick or adjusting your hair. Wherever and whenever you look in the mirror, you say, "I love myself," 3 times. Tip 2. When you are aware of any negative thought about yourself, replace it with, "I love myself." In fact, say it in your mind throughout the day, "I love myself." Tip 3. I truly love myself. In fact, it's the first thought I have when I wake up every morning. I taught myself that program by saying to myself as I turn out the light at night, my first thought in the morning is, "I love myself." I hope you find these tips useful. I'd love to receive your questions and your comments. I look forward to seeing y'all next week.